What's happening, guys? Venomousfatman here, and I got a brand new segment of The Verdict for you. This time I'm talking about this movie right here. It's actually an animated movie that I'm going to be talking about. I'm talking about TMNT Turtles Forever. As you can see here, some of the tags are covering it, but it's called Turtles Forever, and pretty much from the back you can kind of get a little bit of where this might be going. Trying to get away from the glare here so you guys can see. But pretty much, it's the new TMNT, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, kind of, cartoon. The most recent one that's had, two different types of versions, 2 seasons of the series, for the most part, where it's the new rendition of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, from you can tell from the package. But what the whole premise about this is that it's paying homage to the original cartoon and also some of the older TMNT stuff that it's come before. More namely, the actual 80s cartoon, I want to say, or the early 80s into early 90s cartoon. So pretty much I saw the movie. Here's one thing I have to say, because me being a Turtles fan, not a huge Turtles fan, but at least knowing most of like the stuff that what's going on with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is that they really kind of, seeing the actual this version of the Turtles, it looks awesome. The animation is great. I would love to see kind of like a remake, if they ever do another Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series and they really, want to use like the old school type of like Turtles and stuff. I want to see this type of design with this type of animation, which is pretty much what this actual movie had, and it looked beautiful. It was awesome seeing all these classic versions of these characters, come up again, like Shredder, like Krang, like the big what's his name? I forgot his name at the moment, but the actual like the big boar and the rhinoceros that's with him, I forgot his name at the moment, but also the classic foot ninja, the actual robotic foot ninja. So it was pretty cool seeing that. Here's my major problem with it, and which, as a fan actually seeing the series, is what my biggest gripe with this thing is, that they come off as way too silly. Now, I understand that pretty much, the differences between these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is pretty much, worlds apart, because they were done at different times. The humor's different. It's a lot more tongue-in-cheek with these guys than it is with these guys. So I can understand that, but it's kind of, the humor that they had in there with the tongue-in-cheek stuff, made it seem like they're kind of like poking fun a lot more often at, the kind of like the classic Turtles. And much more, it's not so much as paying homage to it as much as it is kind of like, doing a huge parody of it. Kind of in a way almost made it seem like these Turtles were really dumb compared to the modern day Turtles, which I understand it's this, generation's TV series, but I mean, come on. I mean, this is technically, had it not been for this, technically, these guys would not be made. And then as for these guys, to go even further with that, which is like the only real reason you should actually check out this movie, is because if any of you guys, plenty of TMNT fans out there know of the original comics, the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, which are almost like the black and white, comic books from back in the day, They really pay homage to this. I'm not going to give any, story, or too much story away, because, this is the only real reason why you should check this out. But some bunch of stuff happens that causes them, because it deals with a whole bunch of interdimensionary, travel and stuff, that these turtles and these turtles team up and they end up all the way back into a different type of dimension, which has the classic comic book style of TMNT, and they make them come off really badass, to the point where, the classic G1, I guess you could say, is Generation 1 TMNT, are much more serious, much more hardcore, much more, I guess, stronger, and much more, inclined with their ninjutsu ways than both these guys and these guys are. So that's kind of like really intimidating. But the way that the world is made, the animation for the Turtles, the voices even, were done perfectly. And it's awesome, because this is the first real kind of rendition of these Turtles that we've ever seen in any sort of media other than the original comic books, or like motion comics for that matter. And I really loved it. I wanted more. It was short and sweet, but I really wanted to, I really want them to go back and actually make like either a TV series or a full-length movie out of that particular style. It's kind of hard to explain into words, but if you ever look it up on Google, or if you ever actually see this movie, you will definitely get a sense of what I'm talking about. It's towards the end but it's really, really awesome, and I definitely want to see more of that because they were really badass. They kind of ended it, on a great note with those guys. But anyway, getting back to these two, groups. The movie was okay. The story's a little tongue-in-cheek. If you could kind of roll with it, you're gonna have a good time. If you're not too much of a TMNT purist and you don't mind, these kind of classic turtles kind of getting a little bit poked fun at, by these guys all over the place, then you'll kind of enjoy it. If you have a problem with that, it might bug you, but really the ending and the appearance of the G1 turtles are what's really going to kind of make you go nuts over this, because they really did a good job with that. The only other problem I had with that grouping with those G1 turtles is that the original G1 Shredder does make an appearance, but it's really quickly. Like, because he's part of the original, kind of like, they called them Turtles Prime. He's part of these G1 Turtles Generation 1, but he should have given at least more screen time because he is the original Shredder, and it kind of sucks that they kind of like shoot him off a little bit, compared to the new Shredder, excuse me, that, in my opinion, at least, as a classic Turtles fan, is nothing compared to what the original Turtles was, okay? It was a lot more fun, a lot more cooler back in the day as compared to what they are now. That's just my opinion and stuff. Anybody else might feel differently, especially if you're a big Turtles fan. But overall, if you're into TMNT and if you're into a lot of good stuff involving the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this might be for you. You're going to find a lot of little other extras besides the stuff I mentioned, including nuances and kind of nods to the original live-action movie and the 2 live-action movies afterwards, and even the new CG movie that was brought up, and even all the other versions of the comics besides the G1 Turtles, in little different spots here and there. You'll see it, plain as day when you watch the movie, but it's there, it's cool. Movie is okay. Okay, it's really meant for TMNT fans. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, that's my opinion. Leave your comments and video responses, guys. I don't mind. Just keep it civil. Let me know what you guys think. Put it here in the comment section. What was the best generation of the TMNT or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Put it on there. Favorite characters, favorite villains, whatever. Throw it on the comment section, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Venomous is out. This has been The Verdict. Enjoy your day, people.